Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and I'm going to do a whip along, and this one is my Boggy Creek blanket. I was looking for my other knitting needle. That looks really wonky, but it isn't. Just how strange is that? Anyway, can't find it. It's disappeared from in here. They were in a pot, just sticking up out the pot, and that one's gone, and I really need that size too. So I was searching out in the yarn van for all of my knitting needles, and I found some, not all of them. Well, I found quite a lot of them, but these ones caught my eye, and it wasn't until I kind of had a good look and I realised that they're all Susan Bates, and I didn't realise that when I bought them that they were actually Susan Bates. I don't know if I get on with them though, to be honest with you. They might be a bit pointy, you know, kind of, I know they're meant to be pointy, but they might be a bit too pointy. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna, yep, that's fine. I've got a little bit of a problem where it's plugged in, and that sometimes makes my balance off, but it's working out okay. So this is the end of my previous round. It come undone just a little bit where I had it on the just on the side there, but now we're actually starting a new round. And I was going to weigh it. I was going to measure it. Weigh it? What's that all about? I was going to measure it, and I never got around to doing that. So I don't think it's too big or anything, but we will, after I finish this round, I will measure it. I won't weigh it, but I'll measure it. I do have one more cake of this yarn. I think it might be in the other room though, but I do still have one. Now I've got, my lighting looks a little weird. It's because I've got the window blind open. What are we caught on? It's actually gone underneath. There we are. Went underneath itself. Underneath the yarn genie, the wool genie. I want to call it a yarn genie. I don't know why it's called wool, but it is a wool genie. But yeah, so it's all free now. The trouble is it's quite close to my computer lead, and I think that was upsetting it somewhat. So I'm really, this is my favourite colour in this particular part. I think I love this colour. It's kind of a cross between a pink and a purple. It's a pink. I can't call it a purple because it is a pink starts with P, and it a pinkle. No, I just can't do it. Anyway, it's nice. That's all I really need to know. Very pretty colour. I like it a lot. So I was out in my yarn van earlier packing Santa sacks and 12 days of Christmas Santa sacks. And I love kind of when somebody maybe orders more than one of them, then I can put complementing contrasting yarns in the other one, which I really like doing. But if someone only orders one, then you know it's a bit more difficult to kind of do that. But I enjoy picking them, and you know I even enjoy the wrapping of them. I'm well ahead of myself with Christmas present buying and wrapping. I do need to kind of sort out what I've got and everything else again, and just make sure that there's nothing that I really need to get. If I push this down a little bit more so that you can see the work, you just miss the top of my head. It's still there. I still have a top of my head, but you can't really, unless I make it vertical, you can't really see what I'm working on, even though I am leaning on the, I'm leaning on here and it's making my arm ache, believe it or not, because once I did it vertical. so that you could all see better. And most people said, no, do landscape. So I've gone back to doing it landscape again now. There was the odd one or two that said, don't really mind. But the overwhelming majority was landscape, including the live streams. So, yeah, it's a bit difficult now with unless I try and do this, the StreamYard, and go live on my laptop. It's a bit difficult because they're making it harder and harder to flip the screen around. It wants to be in vertical all the time, like shorts, and they're kind of not making it easy. Just as soon as you suss out one thing, they change it all and make it harder again. So actually we'll have to give it a go and see if I can work it out. But last time I thought, you know what, I'll just do it portrait mode, and then, but the amount of people who didn't really like it. I think YouTube should listen, don't you? That not everybody likes it. So don't try and make it default that way. But you know, they do what they do. That's for sure. Constant changing and everything else. Whoops. I was watching one of those insider things today, and they started saying that they were going to be doing this, and rolling this out to people. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, something appears and you either notice it or you don't. And you notice what's different. But most people don't even get the heads up. You know, they just do it. And suddenly you'll look in and there's a lot more questions on your form to fill in when you upload a video that is in the description box and all the behind the scenes stuff. Suddenly something else will appear there and they haven't explained it. So it's just a case of winging it, really. So anyway, one thing that I forgot to mention, guys, for those of you who watch my blog, my vlog, blog, whatever it is, I managed to get my tax back. So I'm just waiting for them to send me a proof of residency from my tax office, and then I can send that off. But they're making the forms and the way you have to, it used to just be, does your country have a tax treaty? Yes. Okay, fair enough. Done. Not anymore. Can you send us this? Can you send us that? Can you do this? Can you do that? Rejecting it because of, they actually rejected it because I had to upload ID. And my ID, although it was my name, it was my full name, whereas the YouTube just had T. And so they rejected it because it wasn't the same name. And it's like, oh, for God's sake. Everything has to be just so now. And it's not enough anymore just to sort of be living in this country and coming from England. You kind of got to prove it. It's like, what? And I often wonder, you know, that I have a friend with a YouTube channel who is not computer savvy in the slightest. And while I was talking to them, I said, you know, how do these people get on that, you know, are frightened by forms or are not computer savvy, and they just, you know, how do they get on? How do they manage to fill these forms in? Or, you know, she always used to say to me, I don't earn any money out of YouTube. And I think, well, maybe that's why. Perhaps she's never got to grips with filling those in. I don't know. It's very strange, really. I mean, if I was they know that I'm a UK citizen and that and I've been doing it for years, but they just, I don't know. Anyway, I got done my first month of filling my form in wrong. I got taxed, which is not right because I get taxed here, not there. So, but I did get it back, which that's all right then. It was just a bit of a headache at the time. Speaking of headache, earlier on, I was sort of, I can't remember what I was saying, but I was saying something to myself like, oh, get up and go in there, it won't kill you. And as I stood up, I whacked my head really hard. There, it's really sore, on the corner of a shelf. And I looked at the shelf and thought, oh, will it? It might kill me. It might kill me. Right on cue, it won't kill you. Bang. Maybe it will. Probably get a blood clot now. I know, a bit of an exaggeration maybe. Well, if I suddenly disappear, you'll know it was actually happened. I love these two colours together. This one's kind of more of a purple than that one, but I love them together. I think really like this yarn. Oh dear, got a bit of a spinneroonie going on. Hang on a sec. It went a bit crazy. So yeah, I've kind of had so little time to myself recently, what with, you know, one thing and another. But very soon, speaking of tax, I'm going to have to do my tax return. And like for my actual country. Really not looking forward to that. I did it all right last year. But it seems to come back. I know it's been a whole year, but it feels like it was only 5 minutes ago. Time is really flying now. The other day, I can't remember who I was talking to. I think it was Charlotte was messaging me. And it just seemed like Christmas was upon us really fast. And normally, you know, in this country, you get a shop that will put their Christmas decorations up, and people will say, it's too early, and they'll be up in arms saying, you know, it's way too early to put them up. We haven't even had Halloween, or we haven't had bonfire night. But it's like everybody wants to get them up so quick. It seems like it's really upon us. I don't know. And of course, we're going on our little mini break first. I'm kind of looking forward to it. But it's like anything else, you know, we've never been there before. It's all kind of finding your way and what you've got to do. And, yeah. I know it'll be okay. If I can survive at airports and find my way, then I should be all right. But this, when we go for our proper holiday next year, it's even a different port. So it's not really going to help us for that. But yeah. Hopefully we'll get some nice Christmas markets this time. I wonder though, because the next holiday, even though it's a warmer place, is still December. I wonder if it'd be Christmassy there. That'd be nice. Wouldn't it just? Anyway, enough of holidays. It's freezing here. Absolutely freezing. The sun's come out now though, but the temperature's really dropped today, and we're going to get either quite severe frost or we might get some snow. I know a lot of the parts of the UK will get snow, but I'm not sure if it'll be here because we're the warmest part of the UK usually, so we don't always get it. And on the odd occasion, when we kind of get a real whiteout, you know, it doesn't last. But we have had some times where we've had like a week of snow, and everybody comes to a grinding halt because this country's not really geared up for it. But you never know. We might get a little bit of the white stuff. I hope so. Just you know, not too long. I don't want to be any you know, certainly don't really want Gary to be not able to get home or anything like that, but it's just nice. There was a couple of years back when I did a walk in the snow for my my channel. I'm not sure if I put it on Rocksteady or this one, but it was nice going around. But it was before that house fell in the sea, so it was quite a while ago, because we walked all the way around. It was pretty hard going in the snow, but it was nice and picturesque, because everything looks so nice until it starts to go brown and slushy, and then everything looks muddy, even though it's not. So yeah, we never know. We might get a little bit of the white stuff, but knowing our region, maybe not. Be nice if we do. Oof. It's really warm in here now. Might have to put my fan on. I had the heating on earlier, but it's off now, and I think because the sun's come out, it's beating on the windows. It's actually quite warm. So this is obviously I'm doing this on Sunday, but this is for my Monday, and I'm doing it early. I've done all my videos and things early because Gary's looking after Charlotte's kids for a few hours later, and usually that's when I'm doing my videos. So I thought I better get them early, at least filmed. You know, if I'm still in here putting them on, it's not so bad, but at least I can get them all filmed so that, you know, I'm done in that respect. I was thinking of doing a live stream, but I did notice that when I looked, somebody was live, that I didn't really want to interrupt or be on at the same time. You know, the weirdest thing is that during the day I used to be the only one, apart from Krista every now and then would go on a Friday, but there used to be hardly anyone. Now there is. It's just like I'm even fighting for kind of space in the daytime. But I didn't do the live because I was uploading my videos, and so I know I could have used this device, but I just thought, no, I want to get a bit more of this done because I want to get this one finished. I've got several ideas and I want to get them done, and plus I've now got a baby boy in the family to make a blanket for. Gary's cousin's daughter has just found out that she's having a boy, so I said I would make her something. So I need to get my thinking cap on for a new baby boy blanket. She back in, what was this summer or the one before, she used to ask me to make her some festival gear. She wanted me to make her trousers, and I just thought, I didn't really have the time to do it, but I was going to make her some festival tops. Perhaps I'll have to make her breastfeeding festival tops from now. She's a DJ, and she also has an art gallery. I don't know how much having a child is going to impact on her DJing and her life. I'm not sure, but she's very popular, so chances are she'll still be doing it. Maybe she'll get a nanny. Don't know, but she has as I say, our own art gallery, plus she does Ibiza. Well, she actually was doing, one of her gigs that she did was in Freddie Mercury's bedroom. She was staying at that place as well. It was huge, obviously. So this is really quite a size now. Ready for this. So that is the middle. I've done one of the little things I wanted to do for the center. Oh my goodness, I hoovered earlier, and on my carpet that hoover is so heavy that it's actually hurt my back. So pushing that hoover around, and there is a little setting on there you can change to make it easier, but I didn't know where the lever was, and I just wanted to get it done, you know, so I just carried on lugging that thing and pushing it. But I'm going to have to figure out, I know Gary knows where it is so he can show me, but I need to do it for next time, because the kitchen is nice and flat, obviously, because it's tile, and all the way through the hallway and bathroom. And then you get to the living room and it's now a very thick carpet, and so it does not want to budge. And I just kind of been pushing on through it, and against that, really, it is ridiculously heavy to push against. And I've managed to survive so far, but it is hard on the back. Are you in there? Are you in there? Okay, so this is really going quite quick this time. I heard there's some trolls about again on YouTube for some of the live streams as well. So as it was an impromptu idea today, I thought I might not have any mods. I usually get a few, but where I don't kind of have a schedule, or I don't tell people like I'm going to go live tomorrow at this time, so I might not have had any mods in. And so I thought, you know, if they're kind of doing the rounds on this sort of time zone, I better wait until I know I've got mods that are going to be there, because otherwise it would be carnage, wouldn't it? I don't do the live stream as well like I used to. I used to have a computer so I could make a mod, and now I tend to just see the chat on my phone, because it's really hard to see the chat anyway. It only appears as a few lines. I used to prefer it when it was just a big section and you could see it all. It was so much easier. Oops. But yeah, kind of every time I do a live stream, I always say, oh, I'm going to do more because I really enjoyed that, and I'll go live more. And then time goes by and time goes by, and I think, well, I haven't done one, but I definitely will. I'll maybe do one this week. Now Gary's off Monday and Tuesday, and I don't know if we've got anything happening, but maybe I'll do one. Probably afternoon, or we'll see. I don't know, but I will try my best to put it on my wall, or you know, at least say it in my chat, in my vlog, and maybe do both if I can. You know, try and be a bit more organised. I'm a spur of the moment person. That's the thing. Terrible spur of the moment person, and it doesn't always work out, because people will say, oh, I missed it, you know. So I should actually announce it. I used to do a little announcement, but it was something like going live in 5 minutes, that sort of thing. So it wasn't really too much notice. But I will try. I'll try my best to do it and to notify somehow. So guys, what are you working on at the moment? I'm still boggy creaking. Sounds like I am actually creaking. My back's creaking, that's for sure. So yeah, I'm still doing this, and I'm going to be doing a scarf for Gary, which I want to finish before we go on our little mini break. So I've got this yarn for that, and so I'm hoping to start that very, very soon. I wish I could find that needle, because as it's for Gary, I'm going to knit that, because I know that he wouldn't wear it if I crocheted it. Well, maybe, but doubtful. So yeah, and also I like to knit now and then, just to keep my hand in, with a bit of knitting. Now I've kind of cleared off all of the worktop in here. It was a bit congested, mind you. Most of the congestion was this, but I cleared it all down, thinking that that knitting needle might have rolled to the back of the, there's no gap, it can't fall, but it might have been like up the back there, and no, not to be seen anywhere, and there is nowhere else it could go. So I'm at a loss as to what happened. You know, when you're doing a granny, do you ever get a little bit of the stitch below, like this blue, this one here? Sometimes that happens to me, and I notice it as I'm crocheting, that I've got a little bit of the stitch below, and it does really annoy me. Can't be helped, I suppose, but it's just, thankfully I always see it, you know, but you know, there are times when I don't look, and I wouldn't see it because I wouldn't be looking, and that, but you can usually feel it if it's caught, because it tends to what's the word I'm looking for, pull. So I'm going to change colour soon. Got a little bit left of this one, and then we're going to go on to that kind of yellowy green. I went in to see if they had any more of this yarn, and they don't, but luckily I found another cake, so if it's not big enough, that's fine, I can still make some more. And this is a great project for watching TV, because it's nothing to it, it's just a granny rectangle. Now if you want to know how to make this, I do have a tutorial for it, and I'll put a link. I've got two actually. In fact, I've got this one and I've got the modern granny, so I'll put a link of all of those in the description box. And what I'll also do is, you know, the videos that come up at the end, there's 4, I'll make them on that part as well. So if you wanted to know the multiples or the beginning chain and how to get the rectangle, then I'll do that, because I'm doing this, my rectangles are always seamless, and my granny squares and rectangles, I never ever change direction, I only ever go in one direction, and they are seamless. So I will do that. Now the only difference between this one and what I'm doing in my tutorials is that I now use that beginning stitch as my stack, so I never do turning chain anymore. So if I have enough space, I will do a tutorial when in those 4 that come up, and I'll put it in the description box as well, for my stack. Now I know in the US you can, I think it might be called the stacked single crochets, but we don't call them that over here, we call them double crochets. So it might be a stack double, but I just call it the stack stitch because it's easier, you know, with everybody having different names for stitches, it's a bit much. Now this is good. I'm going to finish this colour. It started to change, it's getting a little orangey. Oh. But it's going to change right in this corner, so that'll be good. There won't be a change halfway through the round, but it's so gradual the way this changes colour. It kind of does morph. I can't say ombre because ombre is a different thing altogether, but one colour does kind of merge and morph into the next. So we've got the change there, but it's darker at the beginning, and then it does kind of become the green. And I think that's the good thing about that, is that it's easier on the eye when you do change your colour, and it's not at the end of a row. You kind of get that gradual, rather than it being like, wow, halfway through that round or row you've got a completely different bright colour change. I quite like the way they do that on this stuff. and it's not the most expensive yarn either. So I have in my shop, hobbyrocks.co.uk, yarn very similar to this. It's the same yarn company, although this you can't really buy this. They made it for charity shops, and they made it for the cancer research, because I tend to support that one. I used to support Demelza House, but after I had cancer, I tend to, if I've got anything to give away or I want to support them, like I went in there the other day and I bought some of those plastic containers that I keep my yarn in, the Yarnavan. So I bought 2 in there for my new yarns. So I try and support them as much as I can, because the proceeds are charity. And so Signet Yarns are making yarn, or putting a different yarn band on yarn specifically for them. So the yarn that this is the equivalent of are the marshmallow pies, which I do have in my shop, but they don't have this colour. They have, my favourite one is Graffiti Sweetie, because it is really bright and cheerful. And then there's Purple Rain on Me, that's another one that I really like. But those are the marshmallow pies. Now I would have stocked them a long while ago, but they were out of stock for a long time. Well, they weren't all out of stock, but the colours that I wanted were. But they're now back available again. So I do have some in my shop, which are getting low, I think, are some of the colours. But yeah, that's the same yarn as this. It's just that this is a different colour scheme altogether. But it's pretty. It's definitely pretty. So yeah, lots of new yarns in my shop, Hobby Rocks, at the moment. Not only did I get the marshmallow pies and Silkeress, which is absolutely gorgeous, and low, it's £2.99 for 100 grams, and it is the softest, the most beautiful soft yarn, and the most vivid, beautiful colours as well, like solid colours. So I got that. I also got the Hedgerow Chunky from King Cole, which is absolutely beautiful. Now they're quite big balls. And I got the Scandi Aran, which is really nice, and I think that's a James C. Brett yarn. There's another one. What's the one I got recently? Oh, it's down there, I think. I've got some. I brought it in to swatch it up. Let me show you. Oh, my back. It really has killed me. So here it is. Look at this. I love this one. It's called Chromatic, and it is a Stylecraft, but that's my favourite one. That one there. I just want to see how they crochet up. There's another one that's beautiful as well. But yeah, I unboxed them the other day. I brought a few in, not many, just to start making some swatches. And yeah, so there's that as well. So as well as other yarns that I can't remember at this precise moment in time, but lots of accessories as well. So been getting some new scissors and some I had a tulip order, and unfortunately the I-cord knitters have gone out of stock at the wholesaler. So what I've got now is all I have, and I sold 2 yesterday. So they are dwindling. They are really getting low now. But yeah, hopefully it won't be as long for them this time to get more stock than it was last time. That just took forever. It was out of stock for a very long time, annoyingly. So this is still the dark kind of colour. If I show you, look, it's going to get vivid very soon. But that's what I mean. It kind of, it's not a stark contrast. It does kind of ombre a little in the colours, just a bit, and I like it. I did get a few other colours in this yarn. I might put them in the Black Friday sale. There's just a few cakes here and there, but at the moment they haven't got any of them. They've got gigantic tweed balls of yarn, which not my cup of tea. And I know that it's a shop, so therefore might not need to be my cup of tea, it might be someone else's. But I feel like I have to love what I sell, and I don't love them at all, you know. I'm not really into those tweedy kind of. I have got some. I've got heathered yarn, tweedy yarn, and I've got marbly type colours. You know, I like them. I like the ones I've got, but I'm not really into those gigantic, you know, balls of yarn. Although I might start stocking some when I get a bit more space. The Black Friday sale that I'm doing is making a lot of space. Not near enough out of stock of the Woolcraft now, and that freed up a massive amount of space. So yeah, I'm really glad about that. I'm gonna sneeze. I feel like I've got fibres up my nose. Fibres. I'm nearly all the way round. Can't believe it. Really seems to have gone fast. Sometimes it drags going round this. You know, once it gets to a certain size, it does feel like it takes forever to get round. But this time it just feels really quick. Probably isn't. It's just probably the fact that I'm chattering away. But yeah, I'm there. Goodness gracious me. Where? Yeah, almost back. We've got that far to go. I've got a text, but it's right over there. I'll have a look in a minute. It's probably Gary, because he'd finished work. He'd not finished exactly, but he had finished all his work. And so I messaged him and said, me too. And because I got up ridiculous o'clock this morning, and so by about 12 o'clock I'd done all of my yarn packing and uploaded more products into Black Friday, and so then I made a crustless quiche and hoovered, killed my back, and I thought, well, okay, I might as well do some more like videos now and do my videos for later on, because if the kids are coming it's easier to get them done. So yeah, very productive day today. It pays, I suppose, to get up at about 4:30, maybe even earlier than that, because Gary was still home. I don't know what time he leaves for work, but I couldn't believe that when I looked at the time. And the trouble was, I went to bed so early that there was no way I was going to sleep any longer. Once I was awake, that was it. But it's doing nothing for my tiredness, you know. By this evening, I'm going to get tired early again. Can't seem to break this cycle, and I've been having quite a lot of tiredness, which is just not like me, you know, and I don't like it at all. I don't actually like it at all. Okay, so there we are. I'm at the corner. Make it nice and long. That went into a spinneroonie. Here we are. Let's have a look then. I don't know how big this is, but it's really getting a size. So that's the width. Do you know, I don't think it's going to be far off the actual size now. Hello. We'll go up a bit now. There you go. I have got the top of my head after all. But yeah, I don't think this is far off the size. It's so warm. Okay, well, I'm going to call it a day. Thank you so much for spending a bit of time with me and having a whip along. Let me know what you're making and what you've got going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one. So yeah, watch out for my live just in case I do one. I will try my best to notify. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.